The Tibetan Buddhists have a tradition, or rather a ceremony that they perform, where they create these beautifully intricate paintings out of sand. These are called mandalas, and these typically will take a week for them to create, and usually they'll have 4 monks that will labor over this for a week using little metal funnels to lay this colored sand down on these big boards. And these mandalas will be very, very intricate and very, very detailed and very beautiful. As you can see here, we've got lots of detail, lots of work has gone into building these. And then, at the end of the week, they have a dissolution ceremony where they take all the sand that was used to create these beautifully intricate and wonderful mandalas, or these things, and they sweep them up into a pile. And then they take that pile and they dump it into a river, and a portion of it then is also passed out among the people who attend the ceremony. This ceremony is in part used to illustrate the concept of impermanence, the fact that nothing will exist forever. And I think there's very little places in our world or in our lives where this concept is more evident than with technology. And especially if you define technology broadly and look at the progression of things, we can very easily see technologies that don't exist anymore, as opposed to what Kevin Kelly will tell us, that technology is the only class of living thing that never dies. Well, we do evolve, and we get to a point where we have technologies that are not really useful anymore. We have data storage that can't be accessible because we can't find machines or tools that can read the data that's on there. We have languages that people have used throughout human history to communicate with each other that are no longer spoken. We have, for a long time, the ancient hieroglyphs in Egypt it was unknown what they said. It was a language that had been forgotten. It wasn't until we found the Rosetta Stone until we were able to decode them, and that ancient information was then accessible again. And it still is largely not completely accessible. And so we have this idea of obsolescence, and this idea that we live within the now, or at least the nearly now, and that everything that we do involving communication or data storage, even if it's on something as durable as paper, will eventually go away. It will eventually deteriorate, and we will have lost everything that we work so hard to preserve. And I think this is extremely true today with Web 2.0 technologies that so many of us are so excited about using in schools. And so I think the key lesson here is, be careful what you invest in, because or don't take too much. Don't invest too heavily in putting all your eggs in one basket, because these baskets will go away. So there's a number of reasons why Web 2.0 companies might go away. A lot of these tools that we like to use with kids, or that a lot of us are promoting that you use with your students, a lot of them I have promoted have gone away in the last couple of years, because the company has gone bankrupt, or because someone else has bought them out, or because the tool has evolved into some other version, or like maybe the company has decided to start charging an exorbitant fee for premium users which makes it functionally unusable for you. So this is not to say that we should never use these tools, because we don't know which ones are going to change in the future or evolve to a point where things that we've invested time in become obsolete or go away. That's a little bit like saying that we shouldn't teach our students how to read and write, because by the time they graduate high school or college, the common language will have evolved to a point where it's slightly different than it is today. The skills that students will learn using these, and the ability to communicate, and a lot of the literacies that they will pick up in using these tools will still be relevant then as they are today. But the key thing, the key message I want to put forth here is that we have to be prepared to live in a world that changes, and in a world of impermanence, and realize that the things that we make are not necessarily going to last forever. This issue of impermanence has taken a real strong meaning this week for those people that have relied on the service blog lines to follow RSS feeds and blogs. This tool has, for me and many others, been a pivotal part of our personal learning networks and our way of managing information. It was one of the it was probably the biggest online RSS aggregator for many years, and lately its parent company Ask.com obviously has not found it can support the service anymore. And so what I'd like to do right now is go through some alternatives and show you how to export your information from blog lines and import it into a new aggregator. So what do you do if you're a longtime Bloglines user and you log into your Bloglines account and you see that the Bloglines service will officially close November 1st, 2010? That means you have a little under a month to figure out a different service you can use for reading RSS feeds. And there are plenty of different RSS readers out there, both RSS readers that are software based that you download to your computer, mobile readers, or other web based readers like Bloglines was. So the first thing you're going to want to do if you were a Bloglines user is scroll to the bottom of the left hand panel. Under additional features, there's a link at the bottom called export subscriptions. You want to click on that, and then you want to choose save file, and it's going to create a file called export.opml. And what this file is really just a file that contains all the subscription information for the RSS feeds that you subscribe to, and then you're going to hit OK, and then that will save that file to your computer. You can use that file to import into your new reader all your subscriptions. So what readers are out there that a Bloglines user might find useful? Well, the most popular reader out there, as far as online readers goes, is Google Reader. And with Google Reader, you can import your subscriptions, and it will work somewhat similar to Bloglines. Some of the features are a little different. For instance, it will take a feed off of its new list once it's been displayed on the screen, rather than when you just click onto it like you would in Bloglines. And saving something for later does not save it the way Bloglines does. You have to tell it to or star it, or let's see here. Let me click into one of these. We'll click into 2 cents worth, David Warlick's blog, and so as I scroll down, it will automatically mark these blog posts as having been read. And but if I wanted to keep one for forever, I need to tell it that I like it or add a star to it. Keeping it unread will not keep it unread forever like it did in Bloglines. So Google Reader is one option, and it's one that it's a high power option that a lot of users like. for me, the look and feel isn't quite the same as it was in Bloglines. So I've done a little bit of searching, and I found 3 other online readers that Bloglines users might like for the aesthetic value. Bloglovin is one that unfortunately you can't import your subscriptions. You'll have to resubscribe individually, but it's a very simple reader that that I'm finding very useful. And so with this, you just you resubscribe to things that you like. And I'm actually considering using this for my daily use, simply because I'm at a point with my reader where I need to do some pruning of it. There are lots of feeds that are no longer useful for me. There's feeds that I've subscribed to that where people have stopped blogging, or the websites have gone down. So this will give me a good chance to go through and curate my own subscriptions. But it approximates the look and feel of Bloglines in some ways. But one thing I like about this is its simplicity, and also that when you click into a post, it will it brings you right to the web page. So rather than opening it in the reader, it brings you right to the place where you would add comments and stuff, like if you wanted to participate in a conversation. So that's Bloglovin. Another one is FeedShow, and let me log into FeedShow really quick. And FeedShow looks a lot like Bloglines in many ways. It gives you 3 windows though instead of 2. And so if we click onto a feed, let's click onto the same feed again. It will give you, so on the left hand we get all of our subscriptions. On the top we see the different posts that are on that feed. And if we click into one, if we click into one, then we get the article on the bottom. And so this is another one that's kind of like this, kind of like Bloglines. And you can add your subscriptions by clicking into Add Feeds. Oh, wait a second. Nope, sorry. Click into Set Preferences, I believe. Nope. Let's go into Add Feeds. Oh yeah, here we go. So if you click into Add Feeds, you can import that file that we created through Bloglines. So you browse for it, and you hit Submit, and it will import all your feeds like it has here. And if you do decide to go with the rest of the herd and use Google Reader as your primary RSS reader in your migration from Bloglines, the way we would do this is you go up here to Settings and Reader Settings, and over here in these tabs you click on Import Export, and this is where you would import your file that you exported from Bloglines that contains your subscription information. And once you do that, it will populate your reader with all of your RSS feeds that you previously had on Bloglines. And let's see here if I can get back. Alright, so here I've done that, and you can see here all my feeds are nicely situated on the left hand side of my reader. So couple different options if you have to migrate from Bloglines: Bloglovin, FeedShow, or Google Reader.